his #1 goal is to start a colony on Mars, and because he wants an exit plan for humans.
Does he want to go there?
He does.
Because he wouldn't probably come back.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
it's a one-way trip.
So he said, he says he doesn't care if he's the first man on Mars, although his wife told me he does want to be the first man on Mars.
You're kidding. Oh my God.
But he told me, he said he wouldn't go to Mars unless he knew that SpaceX was in good hands and that the colony, that somebody else would see through.
He can't run SpaceX from Mars.
Right. So he would want, and something might go wrong. He would want to know for sure that somebody would see his vision.
Does he have
through.
kids?
He's got 5 boys, but he said, he tells me in the book that, if it came to it, he would go to Mars on his own. And
you know what? If Elon, if you want a pal, I'll go with you. Seriously, who wouldn't want to be? Who wouldn't want to go, even if you know you're never getting back?
One of my favorite parts while we were talking too is that it's just so much grander than stuff I think about. I guess every now and then, Mars and the Earth are sort of at their closest point together, and I guess I naively, I just hadn't I hadn't thought about this really in detail before, and so it's like, well, how would this sort of work, starting a colony on Mars? And he says these things so matter-of-factly. It's like, well, I mean, when they're the closest, you have this month period of time where you'd want to do as many launches as possible. And I was like, oh, like 1 a day or 1 a week, or so. He's like, no, you would be doing hundreds or thousands of launches per day for a month, and each one has to take this many tons of cargo, and this is how many tons we would need to be.
He's figured it all out.
He's like all there, and then
he probably knows to the penny what it would cost.
And if you know anything about, he does, and if you know anything about the launch industry today, it's like the best launch companies, SpaceX and Arianespace. They do one a month. One a month is like sort of the
thousands a day.
Yeah.
But I gotta feel like that if it's not in his office, in his mind, he has a thermometer. Those old thermometers as they're fundraising, as he gets closer and closer to this goal, he can see exactly where they stand.
And SpaceX just is kind of encouraging, because when they first used to quote the prices, just like even for their regular business, everyone thought they were nuts, and they've lived up to it, and they've gotten actually better. And so who knows?
People often compare him to Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Right.
And I know what the comparison is. They're not doing the same thing. It's that willingness and ability to think big and make it happen. To think really, really big. In ways that you and I just don't.
Think big, talk big, act big.
And do it.
But deliver on some of it. Right. If anyone else, even when he came out with the Hyperloop, you definitely had a camp of people that were like, this is nuts.
I still think that's nuts.
But half the people are kind of like, well, if Elon said it, maybe.